You need to imagine that people look at their feed, whether it's on Friday or earlier, and we'll discuss when you should start your Black Friday ads. People look at their feed and they're bombarded by offers, like 40% off here, 199% off some other drop shippers or whatever. And then you have your offer. So it needs to be something that looks at least good. I'm very against bundles or things where, you know what, your AOV is 70. Now you need to spend 150 in order to unlock this offer. No one will do it because Black Friday also has a lot of top of the funnel sales. And you're basically expecting people to pay even more. The whole concept was to pay less. So I know there's more value in it, but many business owners get lost in that and they forget that it just needs to be an appealing offer in order for it to work.
Andy?
John?
Today we are at the office. We are not remote as we usually are. And we have a guest, a close friend of ours, media buyer, Jonathan Spiralatos.
Try saying that 10 times.
Yes, he's known as Jonathan. Why you said like also Spiralatos?
Because it's his name. People can find him on Upwork as Spiralatos.
Yes.
Hi, Jonathan.
Hey, it's nice to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Thank you for coming. It is really nice for you to come here. We know, first of all, Jonathan, he also lives in Greece, like we, but he's in a completely different city. He's in Thessaloniki, we are in Athens, so like we have like 500 kilometers separating us. So we are very happy for you to be here. And we, like Spiralatos, can you introduce yourself to the world?
Yeah, so I manage ads. I manage about $2 million per month in ad spend. And I have, you can call it, I'm basically a freelancer. I manage ads myself, but I also have 2-3 people helping me. And I have 2 people help me with media buying and also a creative director. So I focus on Meta ads, and I also have a business partner that focuses on Google ads, Adonis.
Okay, that's great. So basically, like you are a freelancer brand.
Yeah. I brand myself as a freelancer as opposed to being an agency. Although I do have 3 people helping me, I'm the one that manages the ads always. I have the strategy. I'm behind everything that goes on in the account, and I have full control of it. But of course, I have some people to kind of ease the workload for me a little bit. And of course, my creative director, who's amazing at helping businesses and guide their creative direction.
Yeah, that's great. Before jumping into our main topic, I would like to discuss about this because actually, like there are many people that say they have an agency, but they're freelancer essentially. And I think that if you are going to go to the agency route, you have to go full on in the agency route because being a freelancer, it's the value proposition of hiring a freelancer is much higher, I think, than hire an agency. So don't brand yourself as an agency if you're managing your ads yourself.
Yeah, exactly. I 100% agree with that. And that's what I tell everyone in calls. It's 2 very different things. It's important for businesses, and I've found this, to know that you're the one behind the account because they don't want to speak to someone and hire someone else, basically, and have them do all of the work. Yeah.
Yes. And that's actually, we have this when we talk with clients on the calls, like, do you have an agency? Like, because we have the label Adbreakers, but we are actually just 2 of us, and we have like a 3rd person that is going to help on something, on editing, for example, some videos. And they are like amazed, like, okay, you are not the typical agency of like coming to the sales call with a salesman, going with an account manager, and then like talking with another person that no one knows. Like, so it's much more like straightforward. We're just 2 of us, and you are gonna work with us on the account, looking the accounts every day, as you are doing. Like, yes.
If I had a business, I would 100% hire a freelancer to manage the ads. I'm not saying it because I am a freelancer. I'm a freelancer because I'm saying it. Because I think it's important to talk with the person that's actually managing them and discuss with him. And also, the sales call is also very important because if the person talking to you on the sales call has to also deliver, he needs to commit to what he's saying. He can't just overpromise everything. Some will do it, but you mostly can't. But if it's just an agency, you have a salesperson. When the deal is closed, basically it's the end of his job. He gets his bonus, and then it's the problem of the media buyer to manage somehow to deliver those insane results.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, I get it. And we have like a friend of ours like had opened an agency like long time ago, and he did that structure, exactly this structure. Like, okay, I'm going to manage the ads, like I'm going to be like the media buyer, but I don't like sales calls, so I'm going to hire a sales guy. Like this went horribly. Like the leads, he got from it like were really bad, and not because the people were bad, but the circumstances, like the 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 things that the sales guy told them um, manage the whole situation they are going to have together.
And the
Like,
expectations.
yeah, the expectations
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Which is like really shameful because in another way, like in another universe, like they could have like an amazing relationship. Those two same people, but right now they cannot because like the expectations are so different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, today we brought you because you manage, as you told us, like $2 million dollars per month in ad spend. So you have some ad accounts, some big ad accounts, and brands that people will know if we are going to tell them, but we are not.
I will stay away from names.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. And I
Yeah.
want to mention here, like, it's proven, like, also freelancers can manage, like, accounts spending 500K, like $1 million per month. Not, you cannot do this only with a big agency, right? So
Yeah.
you are a proof
Yeah.
of concept as well.
Yeah, like you're trying to address the hesitation that a freelancer could actually manage big accounts.
Yes,
Is that what
yes.
you're addressing? Yeah, I mean, yeah, 100%. Yeah, I
Because-
would argue maybe even bigger. I would argue that the biggest accounts in many cases are. I won't say the biggest, but I would say equally big accounts are managed by freelancers because it's an issue of time. Like you and a skill level also, specific skill level is required.
Yeah, because I have seen, like, accounts with lower budget, like 200K per month, like they are handling like 3 media buyers. What the hell they are doing, like 3 media buyers in the account?
No,
One is
no.
closing, one is opening the ads.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, okay.
Yeah. No, I'm managing about 20 ad accounts right now. And I feel like that's a very reasonable bandwidth. I could probably go with some more, like 25, I feel like is my limit, maybe 27. But that's granted, I have people helping me, right? The structure I have is the people assisting me will upload the creatives. They'll maybe set up even the campaign. So have people helping with that part. But it's tasks that can be done by many people. But it's important to have the person that's doing the strategy to be very focused. Yeah, that's to answer how can you manage more accounts of high spend. That's the answer for me.
Yes, that's useful because many people I have seen, like they are limiting, like they are asking how many accounts do you manage right now, and like when I had like less, oh, you're too little. When you're saying a lot, like, oh, too many.
Yeah.
Like, and they cannot understand as many of the accounts you manage, like it's better because you have more insights and you are seeing like different things from different niches, and you can like operate like on the peak performance.
Exactly. I've had people fire me to get an in-house person full time, and then come back to me because they realize that there's a huge knowledge and skill set gap. Because what I do is exactly what you described. I'll take learnings from one ad account and put them into the other one. To manage 25 ad accounts, 20, 25, whatever, means that you're also exposed to 20 different business owners. And that's also, I go on calls where people would pay to speak to those people, and they are actually paying me, and I learn from them because we don't just discuss ads. The discussion will go in other directions, and I can use all of those learnings to also transfer them to the other business owner and tell him, like, you know what, this guy ran an amazing Black Friday offer. Why don't we do this with you as well? And they're like, oh yeah, that's a really good idea. An in-house person will never do that.
Yeah, yeah, completely agree, and something that I faced as well, because when I was just running my e-commerce store, I had like I knew so much, but when I started like working with other e-commerce owners, that's something that I realized as well. Like I saw, okay, a business that like the structure of the email, like automations. Okay, if if like just to see it, I would have to pay. But right now, because I'm managing their ads, they show me it for free, and I can implement it like to my own business. And it's something that really helps, and definitely if you see it from the perspective, having an in-house media buyer more time than not, it's not very useful. Or at least like have also like the outsiders, like someone from the outside help you at least on a consulting basis, something like that. Definitely.
Yeah, to add to your point, ask a random person, how many millionaires do you know? The answer for me is many, because I work for them, right?
Yeah,
so you learn so much. Like out of, okay, not all of them are millionaires, but many are. So I speak to millionaires on a daily basis, and that's just a Monday for me. So the value in that is amazing, of course.
Yeah, sure. That's great. That's great insight. Okay, now we would like to talk like today about the Black Friday, because Black Friday is coming, and would like to know, like, as a media buyer, because we are all media buyers, like what are the strategies on the account level, maybe on the creative level as well, that you think of implementing or have started implementing, or you've tried to, because you have so much exposure to other accounts, you've tried to some other accounts and you've seen work.
Yeah, can I take one step back before I answer the strategies? Sure. I want to address the offer. And this actually, I've been doing this for about 7-8 years, but last year I actually made a mistake that I've made also in the past, and I should have stayed ahead. It's very important to also have a good offer, because I had this one brand that ran an offer that was a bundle, which they then discount. It's like if you got 2 or more, I think if you got 2 items, then you got 1 more for free or something like that. Or on 3 items, you got then some sort of discount. It was some sort of bundle offer. And I kind of, my instincts were against it, but I was too busy. And I was like, okay, it's your business, your idea, whatever we want. We ran it. It went horribly wrong. And I want to address the importance of the offer. When people, because it's often easy to say, you know what, the media buyer didn't do his job well or whatever. But if your offer is shit, then no media buyer can make it work. And in that case, for example, or in every case, you need to imagine that people look at their feed, whether it's on Friday or earlier, and we'll discuss when you should start your Black Friday ads. People look at their feed and they're bombarded by offers, like 40% off here, 199% off some other drop shippers or whatever. And then you have your offer. So it needs to be something that looks at least good. I'm very against bundles or things where, you know what, your AOV is 70. Now you need to spend 150 in order to unlock this offer. No one will do it, because Black Friday also has a lot of top of the funnel sales, and you're basically expecting people to pay even more. The whole concept was to pay less. So I know there's more value in it, but many business owners get lost in that, and they forget that it just needs to be an appealing offer in order for it to work. And I would say that anything less than I really like the 20% off site-wide offer. In general, site-wide off stuff is good. And I would say, if possible, nothing less than 20% off is what I advise my own clients. In some cases, we're doing less, but we know why we're doing it, right? I have a client that's going to do 10% off and free shipping. It's fine. We discuss it. We know why he's doing. I'm not saying we do the same for every business. Okay. So I just wanted to start there before we discuss strategies and stuff. Regarding now the strategies in how to manage the ad account on Black Friday.
To add up on this, like you said, because I agree. I totally agree on what you're saying. What I noticed, like from clients, because also I have a client, he has like 60% returning customer rate. It's like food, it's pet industry. So he has a lot of repeat business. So he's doing like something similar, like 15% off, like in the free shipping. But he's doing this for this specific reason. So he doesn't want like to bring like top of funnel, like more purchasers. What I noticed, like to the people, is like, okay, I totally agree on this. Like, okay, your AOV is $70 and you're trying to make people to spend like 150 on this day. Why? Try them to spend like 70 just for more and make more appealing. What I notice is like, they are not like at all like creative, because you can do the same offer, like dollar amount, like save $50 if you spend this. Or like everyone like 50% and 70%. It's better than nothing. I'm not saying this, but you can be creative. Not site-wide,
Yeah.
but for a specific pool of audience, for example, you can do this for your returning customers. Do something different,
Mm-hmm.
and not the same offer for everyone, like 50, 70, 50, 70, 50, 70.
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. It's also important to kind of give an offer that won't increase too much the workload of customer support. That's also another issue we have sometimes. If the offer is too complicated, like you say, it's 20% off on some items, but then some others are not. Or it's for only first-time orders, but someone purchased again but saw the ad, and then you just message customer support, and it also creates a bad name for the brand. They complain, why aren't we getting a better deal? So I think a business owner needs to factor those things in also. I don't necessarily think it's the job of the media buyer to have this discussion, by the way. I'm just stating this for business owners that are watching this, if business owners are watching this, just so they can take it into consideration. Okay?
Yes, but we can have like a discussion on the call. If the business owner is gonna ask, we can give some insights because we know what has worked in the past. So we can give. Yeah, for sure. We are not like the ones to blame. Like it's your business. You have to know. Like
Media buyers are never at fault.
It's always the business or the offer, but if things go well, it's thanks to us. Okay, so do you want to discuss the technical approach and what media buyers should do?
Yeah.
Or-
yes,
So I think one thing that's very important is to make sure you enter Black Friday. Actually, let me start with when do you start the offer? In my experience, because you need the algorithm to learn and optimize, and it takes, I would say, at least 3 days for a campaign to start figuring things out and reach some sort of stability. You don't want to start your offer on Friday. You'll also likely get much higher CPMs than you'd normally get. So I recommend to my clients to start at least, if possible, on Monday, latest Tuesday. And then you run it through Cyber Monday. And in some cases, you can leave it for a couple more days. It's okay if it says Black Friday. No one's going to complain that they got a good offer on Tuesday and it's not Friday. I mean, come on. And they also feel smart. If someone sees it on Tuesday, they feel like they maybe tricked the system because it's still active and they didn't turn it off or something. So it's okay to leave it. If it's doing well, you can keep it a few more days. And so I recommend that in terms of how the algorithm optimizes and how you'll get your optimal results. But leading to that point, you should have well-optimized campaigns during Black Friday and that week as well. So don't turn off all of your ads, for example, and launch Black Friday ads. That's just suicide. Scale the other ads as well. Last year, for example, we noticed that for some reason, up until Thursday, although we launched offers on Monday, our evergreen campaigns were actually outperforming the Black Friday ones and the offer ones. And I think because they had a lot of data. I'm not sure why. And we confirmed this also with Konstantinos, and he was seeing the same results. We actually called each other and were like, have you seen this? And he was like, exactly, that's what I was going to say. So make sure you have good evergreen campaigns, you have stable campaigns, and enter that week with well-optimized campaigns. And those are also what's going to save you once Black Friday has ended. Because when you turn off the Black Friday campaigns, those are the campaigns that you're going to keep there. Maybe, of course, you can lower the budget. And those are the stable ones that'll keep some sales going, and your Shopify or whatever you're using won't just drop, and your full ad account won't just drop.
yes.
Yeah, definitely.
I want like to share like a personal story because you said leave your offers like for Tuesday. Like maybe they are gonna think the buyers like they trick the system. Before doing media buying and being exposed in e-commerce, like when I was buying in Black Friday on Tuesdays with a coupon specifically, and it was like working, and they were saying like it's expiring on Monday, I was feeling so smart. Like, I figured out like I made it work.
Yeah, I think it's especially true for Greeks. We'll feel super smart, like we're the smartest people here. But it's true for everyone. It's 100%. I've seen it happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. People think this way. And what do you think about pre-Black Friday? Like, do you have any brands that do before Black Friday, like something, so they can get like this early action as early as possible?
Yeah, no, that's a good question, and all of my clients nearly ask it. Don't do sign up to get early access on Black Friday or extra deals. I think you should run the offer that you want to run at the time you want to run it. I have some saying, should we use it as a time to run a lead gen campaign and have people sign up for a better deal or something like that? But it doesn't work well because to run ads and get leads, you won't have a very good cost per lead, and it's just not a very captivating offer. So I don't think you should go down that route. I'm open to running a pre-Black Friday sale. If you're going to do, let's say, 30% off site-wide, okay, you can run a 15% off site-wide earlier. I have some very successful clients that do this. Currently, my biggest ad account is spending about $500,000 per month. During November, we'll spend $650K. And
You will spend 650K.
yeah, in one ad account in the apparel niche, children's clothing. I can say up to that. We'll run several different offers, and our best ones will actually be during the Black Friday week. So I'm open to that, but I don't consider it necessary.
Yes. Something that I had a discussion about what is better, like, which I don't think there is only one answer to this, but I want your opinion. It's like better to have it like a discount coupon, or like it's applied automatically, for example. And we had the discussion with a client that all the years we're doing it with discount coupon. It was working really well, and he wants to experiment this year. And I'm saying, like, okay, just like I want you to know, like, we know it has worked really well. We like succeeded like 60% higher from the previous years all the time. So why to change it right now? Like, it's not like last year didn't work. So
yeah, see, exactly there you can see the logic of a media buyer that's experienced, because we know that when something in an ad account works, you just look at it, you pray for it, and you don't do anything. That's the proper media buying. However, I personally have seen the opposite, but I haven't like split tested it or anything. I'd say this is just more of a feeling, but I can't say with concrete data that I'm sure. I do believe that if you can put a scratch out offer, like the original price, scratch it out and put the discount next to it or beneath or whatever, I think that's more powerful. Okay, and if possible, also like write 25% off, or you save so much. If it's a single item store, you can say how much you save, depending on, sometimes the one works, sometimes the other. I think that's more impactful because people go to the website and it's there, they see it. And what's the alternative? To put it at the header, maybe, right? Or in the ad, but you also have the evergreen ads, right? So some people reach your website through an ad that did not mention Black Friday. So at that point, they need to check the header or the pop-up and see that there's an offer. But if you scratch it out and it's there, that's more powerful. Yeah. So I can't imagine this doing any worse than the coupon.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
the only thing that I like, because I agree with that, like when you go to the sales that sort of like this that just run like with the coupon, you'll see like there is a significant amount of people that didn't actually apply the coupon. Like there's 30%, 40%. Like it's a huge amount of people. I have noticed doing that, and it's not just one for just one brand. And I think that, of course, this can help you. Like if you think like, okay, all the other orders are going full price, so you're going to increase the AOV. But generally, I don't think that this is what they expected. So for the customers, I think it's better to not do like the coupon and go with the site-wide route. Generally, like I can definitely understand like a business that has recurring revenues, with either subscription model, people that keep buying, like the pet food industry, like having a just a coupon makes sense because it can actually bring you more revenues in the long term, like because of the AOV. And also the coupon, you can utilize it on the ads, and you can actually target with the ads like cold traffic, doing cold outreach with the ads, and separate a little bit, which can actually help. Because you are going to target like new people for amazing discounts that you don't want or you cannot afford your existing customers to have.
Yeah, and I feel like we're indicating towards something very important with this discussion, which is that there's no cookie cutter solution to these types of things. So if a business owner or media buyer hears this and just applies it with no criteria, I think they may make a big mistake. You need to know why you're doing what you're doing. And that's very important. Although we may give some advice, put down the facts and estimate if it's actually good for your business, or if you have other reasons for not doing it, that's totally fine. Yeah.
And that goes to show like, but this cookie cutter solution, like there doesn't exist in Facebook ads as well, because every business is different. Like every product is different. Like it cannot be like one setup works for every business, because like just having, for example, a recurring revenues, like in a business that, for example, like you buy like a widget and it has like you have to refill it, for example, like that. You cannot. It's not possible for this business to have like the same ad account as a business that does like first sale orders. Something
Exactly.
like that.
Yeah, I agree totally. Like, and also how I structure my ad accounts. If you see them, there's in many cases many differences. Like about a month ago, I started working with an Australian supplement brand, spending about 400K per month, and they're doing only cost caps. So I started implementing more cost cap type campaigns, and that's totally fine. My other ad accounts are not like that. So you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. Not bid caps, cost caps, right?
Yeah, cost
Okay.
caps. Yeah.
Having bid caps inside your ad account, like I wouldn't touch it. Like I think it's a mess.
Mm-hmm.
But cost caps like are a bit stable. Like it tries, but it doesn't like hear the optimization a lot. Like
Yeah.
if you go also to read like the differences, you'll see like it's better. Like it's optimized much, but it still optimizes. Like on BitCap, I don't think it optimizes at all.
Do you work with cost caps a lot?
No. I just have
Me neither. Yeah.
one client that had one campaign and it was pretty stable. It wasn't like the CPMs like from day to day, like it didn't change a lot.
Yeah, I've seen them work in some cases, and I have friends that do it. But personally, I typically don't work with cost caps. But that was exactly my point. Although I don't see them working so much, in some cases I'll still use them.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, right now apart from we talked about the offer, we talked about like the setup of the ad account. For first of all, like to go more into the setup of the ad account, like what targeting specifically do you use? Like, do you go broad? Do you try to find cold people because you know Black Friday is the week that we get like new customers, so it's top of the funnel. We go like with colder audiences. Like how do you work around that? Like generally, of course,
Yeah.
because every other account is different.
Yeah, I would say just keep doing what you've been doing. Okay, if someone comes into your ad account and starts running your Black Friday offers from scratch and has no other information, then I'm not sure. Go back to the history and see what they did before you, because to just start with no information isn't what I typically do. So the clients that I have been working with for a month, years, or whatever, I know how the accounts work, so I'll just keep doing what I've been doing. So this means practically, generally speaking, if the pixel is trained, then I'll just go broad with either Advantage Plus campaigns or traditional ones. Sometimes I'll run some lookalikes and they do tend to work well. So yes, I'll put more budget towards cold traffic campaigns. I don't have a specific number. In general, I do like the 80-20 rule, 80% being the cold audiences, but Meta's algorithm now kind of combines it all anyway. So if you run an Advantage Plus campaign, I won't put any cap to the remarketing audience. Let the algorithm figure it out and spend as much as you can. So in most cases, I'll go broad. Launch new campaigns for Black Friday. Don't throw your creatives into existing ones. I'm against consolidation in the sense of running only one or two campaigns. I'm not saying just spread thin your budget across many campaigns, but you don't run just one or two campaigns. Run new campaigns for new creative ideas. Test new creatives in new campaigns, and for Black Friday, launch new campaigns. So you can turn them off when Black Friday has been completed, and then you keep the old campaigns again. But in other cases, if you, for example, if you've found some interest to do well, like I have this one client that's in the healthy energy drink space, kind of compared to Red Bull and that type of things, and it's a brand new account, new pixel. And I found some specific interests that worked well. So, of course, on Black Friday, I'm going to run that broad campaign. Not broad, I'll run a CBO cold campaign with 2 or 3 interests in it and launch that.
And as for the remarketing, because you stated, do you tend to put more budget on the remarketing in Black Friday, or like you keep it as you were having it, like 70-30, 80-20 on the account? How you work with remarketing?
So it depends. Like if you have an Advantage Plus campaign, I would probably launch a new campaign just for remarketing.
Like visitors, engagers, like
Yeah, like middle of the funnel would be considered.
Yes.
But again, it depends on the account, right? That's what I'm trying to think. There's no, I'm thinking through my accounts, and for
Yes.
every account, I'm
It's
thinking I would do a different thing. Yeah.
yeah.
So if the if it's a brand that has a lot of returning customers, I would probably launch another campaign to just target those people, not with a huge budget, because you do want those sales to also happen in the Advantage Plus campaign, so the algorithm can use them and optimize. So I don't want to deplete my warm audience in a new campaign, but I would be very open to launching a new campaign to make sure I hit that audience hard, right? Of course, if you're running an offer that's only for existing customers or only new customers, then the answer is obvious.
Yes.
So in many cases, I'll try to hit the remarketing audiences very hard. Maybe I'll launch a remarketing campaign on Friday until Monday to make sure that all my warm audiences see this offer. So I'm open to that. I don't necessarily consider it a bad idea, but I need to also say that in some cases, I won't launch a remarketing campaign only, because the algorithm will do its thing, and it's gonna reach the warm audiences, and I can utilize this data in the Advantage Plus campaigns to kind of slingshot their way into new cold audiences.
So I want to follow up with a question, like, is a big debate and battle out there, like, and it's called attribution. Like most of the people, they don't want to do their marketing campaigns, to exclude all the like your audience. Can you state why you don't need to do this and how this is helping running your campaigns?
Yeah, to make sure I understand, you mean to launch, for example,
Yes. For example,
campaign?
now we launch Black Friday and the offers and whatever, like you run on the Black Friday and you have like some entrepreneurs that they don't want like to have the existing customers attributed to Meta on this period.
Yeah. By existing customers, what would they exclude? Purchasers and email list?
Yes, purchasers.
Okay.
Let's say, yes.
Because there's an extra layer to this where they'll even exclude website visitors, for example, which is stupid for even more reasons.
I haven't seen this too.
You haven't. That's even worse. There's many levels to stupidity. So
they asked me now like to exclude specifically to the engagers from Instagram, and I explained that thanks God she understood why this is bad and there's no reason like to do it.
Yeah. No, look, this isn't something.
It's not only for Black Friday.
It's in general.
Yes.
Yeah. And although I was saying before, every business is different. None of my ad accounts are excluding warm audiences or existing customers, unless again there's a very, very specific reason in a specific campaign, not account wide. If it's a one-time product, for example, see, I was saying never, but this is a case where if it's someone people buy only once. Some people have forced me to do it and exclude existing customers, but even then I'm personally against, because an existing customer may see the ad and may leave a comment that says something nice about your product, and that's social proof, and you can use it in cold traffic campaigns. So even in that case, I won't exclude warm audiences. In terms of how the algorithm operates, if it's a product where people would buy again, there's no benefit to excluding your existing customers or your warm audiences in any way, because the algorithm uses that information, gets those sales, and starts learning what your customer is like, the customer type. So especially in the first 1 or 2 days, the algorithm is gonna spend a little more on your warm audiences in order to, because there's optimization at the pixel level, but also at the campaign level, right? If it's an Advantage Plus. And in that campaign, if you have 10 sales, that builds a hot pocket, basically, like Konstantinos also names it, where the algorithm will see, you know what, these 10 people are the ones that purchase, so let me start finding more like them and more like them. So the more information you give the algorithm, the better optimization it's going to do, and it's going to slingshot its way into cold audiences, basically. So it starts there and it builds upon it. So some clients say it because they don't want to have that attributed into the ROAS, and they want to see, I think if this is what you're also saying, they have this concept of clean data or the real ROAS. But the reality is you don't know the true ROAS. You're never going to know it. And it's not so important for you to know the true ROAS. It's important for you to get revenue, sales, profit. So why over-focus on that?
Yes, especially like I had this discussion with a person, like we had like only one marketing channel, like Facebook. And they had some organic sales because they're doing some good videos organically and they are getting some traction. But it was only Meta. I can listen to this conversation when you have many marketing channels. Like you have Google ads, you have TikTok ads, but again, like at the end of the day, you want like to know, as you said, like your sales, your revenues, and your profits, right?
Yeah, I feel like, you know what, we got spoiled. There used to be an age where you would run an ad on a TV commercial, and you had no idea practically if people purchase or. And then the Pixel came around, and it was amazing. We're like, I can't believe it that there's to some extent attribution, and we roughly know what's happening. And from there, we moved into I have to know exactly what's happening. Why? I don't think it's so necessary, and you're actually spoiled. You already have so much information that's pretty accurate already. And I'm saying, the downside here is that you're depriving the algorithm of this information, and that's why I want it, not just so I can inflate my results. Although, of course, I'm happy that my results are getting inflated. Also, like you said, the media buyer is never at fault.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Definitely agree. And even with the most advanced like attribution system that there is out there, like if you're using triple well, still you choose the attribution model that you are going to get. Like
Exactly.
And the attribution model, like you get like the mixed, and most people like go to the mix, which is like the same thing as you'll get from the other platforms. Like you have some tracking happening there, but it's not that much of a big of a difference. Like it won't, especially like if you have an e-commerce business and where you can track everything, and I mean everything, like every order, like you track everything. If you have like something like call center or something like that, the tracking is a mess there. You have to find like a really advanced way to track it, because in an e-commerce store, like you see the ad account, what you see, like the sales are actual sales.
Yeah.
So
No, I like the fact that you brought up the attribution model in Triple Whale or Hyros or Wicked Reports, whatever people use. I'm not against those softwares, but I think we need to use them wisely, and we need to know why we're using them. And that's exactly it. I had a client that was obsessed with tracking everything to the last detail. So we extensively looked into Triple Whale specifically. I don't have any preference. I think they're all similar. And at the end, we basically, after a lot of months of analysis, we just got more confused, because we realized that, okay, now we have very good tracking with third-party data and stuff. Okay, now which attribution method do we choose? Depending on the one we chose, we could see a very different story. So at that point, we're still using it, but we realized that it wasn't the holy grail that he thought it would be. And so I think there's value to it, and we can discuss it more if you want, but you never have a very clear picture of the exact numbers that you're getting, and I think that's totally fine. It is what it is. Learn to work around it. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay. We talked a lot about that. Like, let's briefly cover the creatives around Black Friday.
Okay. So actually, this is a very simple answer. Keep using what's been working for you. You don't have to innovate. It's fine if you want to. Okay, I'm not against it, but for all of our projects, we're just gonna use the creatives that already worked for us. We're gonna use the copies that already worked for us. Why? Because we have a full year of testing, or in many cases, we have 4, 5, or 10 years of testing. We know what worked, so we're gonna use the same and just change it to add a Black Friday offer. So if it's a video, we'll put some text overlay that there's a Black Friday deal, and we'll put the deal. If it's an image, again, we'll do the same thing. Or we can use the exact same concept of that video, but have the people in it mention something about the offer, but then keep the rest of the video the same. There's no reason, unless you have a specific reason and discuss it with your media buyer or whatever, to just drastically do new things. Black Friday isn't the time to test, because you have very limited time. Usually you have maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks, but there's not enough time to test and get information and then optimize and spend more budget on the things that are working. That's why I answered the same way as I answered with how to set up your ad account, if you should test broad or interests or lookalikes. Just keep doing what already worked for you, because you have that information and it should do pretty well.
Yeah, definitely agree. Also in the catalogs, you can use frames, so you can have them like as well, because many people forget catalogs. Like catalogs are important, like, and can actually help a lot of other accounts, especially like offers, like e-commerce businesses that have like a lot of products. And yeah, I totally agree. However, there are some value to creating like a story behind it or create something new, like a completely new campaign that you can actually do.
Campaign or creative? A new.
Campaign around like a specific creative, like a specific theme, for example, in
Okay.
Black Friday. Like many brands choose to do something big for Black Friday, not just like the same old thing. And that ties in with the offer as well. But for most brands that they want like fast results, they want to have like the best ROAS possible and not test new things. Like just go with what worked in the past.
Yeah, no, I like that you brought up frames. Also, that's a good addition. In some cases, we will run frames. The problem there is that you only run on Facebook. That's the downside for the frames that you put in the actual ad level of the campaign. There are third-party services that I've tried where basically it goes and it changes the creative in the actual catalog. And that's why. So it changes the actual
Through
creative.
the XML.
Through XML, it
Yes,
works.
yes.
Okay, yeah. I'm not sure on the technical details, but I know that exactly. If you look at the product in the catalog, it's changed, and it's basically a frame. And you can also do dynamic stuff where you set the frame basically, and regardless of the product, you're gonna still have the same frame, or you can even kind of allocate. There's several different services for this. What I want to say is that I did use this last year specifically. It worked well, so I actually liked this approach, and in some cases we may try it this year as well. The problem is that I didn't find any value in this service. Do we name the service, or that's fine? Let's not name it. I didn't find any value in this service after Black Friday, and the specific one wanted a 3-month commitment. So it wouldn't make sense financially, but.
What was like the price for the service, like on a monthly?
The price was we negotiated down due to volume a little bit, so I'm not sure if everyone could get it, but it was about $500 per month. So for smaller projects, it doesn't make sense for many months.
Yes, it's expensive. That's why I have been like through these like services, and it's like quite expensive.
Yeah. That's why I mentioned, because I have seen it as well. That's why I mentioned like the simple like frame approach, which is like much simpler. Of course, like you lose a lot of stuff you don't get on Instagram, the frame, and also if this campaign works, you have to close it after Black Friday. But if you do it through the catalog, through Shopify's catalog, Facebook's catalog, you can keep that ad after you change everything like on the back end.
Yeah. I agree.
But still, yeah, it's expensive. So.
Okay, so I guess this period now you are pretty busy, right?
Yeah. It's
So the most the busiest period. A lot of like last days things, I guess, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's the bottleneck of every freelancer that does media buying or agency or whatever. It's the way we work is like banks. If everyone goes to the bank on the same day to pull money, there's not enough money. And the same thing happens with us, right? If everyone asks for something on the same day, you probably can't manage that volume of work, which is fine because this practically never happens. But on Black Friday, therefore, of course, you need to still provide a top-notch service. So the solution is very simple. Start prior to Black Friday. I've already scheduled and published some of my Black Friday campaigns that will be running. That's how early we started. We're writing copies, creatives, we're getting everything ready. My goal internally, and I've shared this with my team as well, is by the 10th of November to have all our Black Friday ads scheduled completely and have everything ready in there, ready to run. And then, of course, we can tweak details, we can adjust budgets, we can figure out the details along the way.
Yes, yeah, that's great. That like in terms of implementation, but what I see I see from the like entrepreneurs, like from their team that they have in house, they are a little bit late on the things. Like they're providing some creatives, for example. But I'm starting like noticing them saying to them like, give me the Black Friday creatives from today.
Yeah,
actually.
yeah. That's why you need to push them. And I mean, I say the 10th, but I know it won't happen up until Thursday night. I'll still be publishing campaigns probably. I know that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, that was a really nice conversation. I think it has a lot of value in it for people that want to run Black Friday offers on Meta. And thank you very much for coming.
Yeah, it was nice being here.
We're going to see you again.
For sure.
For
like
sure,
in the
you are
future.
going to come
Sure.
and discuss more and more things about media buying. And thank you for coming. And Tosca, that's the
See
ball.
you in the next one.
Okay, that's the ball. Bye.
Bye.